I didn't come here to do no whole bunch of playing today. All right, let's get into San Francisco. I think they're trying to distract y'all from San Francisco apologizing to the Negroes as well.
Apologizes on behalf of San Francisco to the African American community and their descendants for decades of systemic and structural discrimination, targeted acts of violence, atrocities, as well as committing to the rectification and redress of past policies and misdeeds. We have much more work to do, but this apology most certainly is an important step.
And right now,
Apologizes on behalf of San Francisco to the African American.
I want y'all to remind them that today in 2024, February 2024, San Francisco is apologizing to Negroes for their misdeeds and for the laws that they have perpetrated. Y'all say racism is over, and yeah, racism is over. Of course racism is over. You know, that's why people apologizing today, I guess. And of course, I think that they're attempting to distract us from the Bushnell protests and the other self-immolation protests that have been happening in this country. People wanting us to know about Free Palestine. But if you don't know the tea, I'm going to share it with you real quick. Did you know that Bushnell committed the second kamikaze protest in the past 3 months? Yes, in the past 90 days, Aaron was the second to set himself on fire in front of an Israeli institution in the U.S. On Sunday, February 25th, 2024, Aaron set himself ablaze in front of the Israeli embassy in D.C. On December 1st, another person set themselves ablaze in front of the Israeli consulate in Atlanta. In both cases, a Palestinian flag was found at the scene. And in both cases, the protesters proclaimed that they were committing an act of political protest. Yeah, I don't believe in coincidences either. Because Aaron recorded himself and streamed live on Twitch, we know that he stated that he would no longer be complicit in genocide. We also know that he yelled Free Palestine as he went down. Approximately 30,000 Palestinian lives has been taken as compared to the approximately 1,500 Israeli lives that have been taken so far. And I believe that this protest was an act of Aaron putting his life on the line for the American people. I think Aaron wants to send us a clear message that our taxpayer dollars are used to fund genocide. Aaron is trying to tell us that the Israelites are trying to take out the Palestinian race. Completely. Wipe out. I think the U.S. Department of Defense is trying to suppress the news of a vigilante group forming. A vigilante group that involves U.S. soldiers. The U.S. Defense Department released a statement saying that active duty members shouldn't participate in any partisan political activities. The media has also been reminding us that active duty military are prohibited from wearing their uniforms during unofficial speeches, interviews, picket lines, marches, rallies, or any public demonstration that could cause a disturbance. To me, this sounds like a dog whistle from the Defense Department letting soldiers know that they're aware of their involvement in these protests. These statements also make it clear that the U.S. Defense Department does not want the U.S. citizens aware. The U.S. government doesn't want us to know how our soldiers genuinely feel about wars that they fight in. They have purposefully been hiding the name, age, and gender of the person who committed the protest in Atlanta in December. We have no idea who the person was or what was their reasoning for protesting. With the fact that the officer didn't hesitate to reprimand Aaron even in his uniform leads me to believe that the officers could have been prepared for active duty soldiers to commit this type of protest. Instead, the officer demanded that Aaron lay on the ground as if he were a suspect, which makes me think that the unidentified person may have been an active duty soldier as well. I'm thinking it's very likely that Aaron recorded himself and went live so that his protest wouldn't be swept under the rug like the previous one. This isn't the first, and I don't think it's going to be the last Human Torch we see yelling Free Palestine. And if y'all think that my tin hat is just tingling, honey, I'm going to need you to really do your research. I told y'all about the incident on December 1st. I let y'all know that this was not the first protest, and those aren't the only two instances where we've seen protests in this country regarding freeing Palestine and showing disapproval of Israel. But y'all know they say that the media is ran by a certain demographic, and that demographic tends to reside in Israel, honey. And it's no secret that the battle that goes on between Israel and Palestinian is regarding religion, right? But again, if y'all think my tin hat is just tingling, check out what TikTok did to that exact video. The video I just showed y'all, I posted on TikTok twice. And here's why. I made an Aaron Bushnell video. And in the video, I included some other recent self-immolation protests. Protests that have been suppressed by the media. In the video, I also had some questions for the U.S. Department of Defense. When I posted the first video, it was so clearly suppressed. With about 150,000 followers, in 11 hours, the video only got 9 views total. When I woke up and saw that the video was being shadow banned, I immediately reposted it without any captions or hashtags. And it started to get traction immediately. Within 5 minutes of me posting the video, I was hit with a violation for hate speech and referring to people as slurs. Now, we know I can make some messy content, but this video was not that at all. This was one of my genuine, heartfelt messages in an attempt to educate the American people and provide potential perspective on Aaron's actions. I'm sharing this with you as a reminder that the Clock app is no longer about education. It's no longer about enlightenment or giving voice to the voiceless. This has become another form of controlled media. This has become another avenue for programming, brainwashing, and propaganda. And I want you all to be aware. The stories that go viral here are not a coincidence. These days, they're commonly a distraction. You gotta watch out for TikTok, honey. We've been knowing that TikTok was suppressing people who speak truth to power for a long time. Honey, baby, once the Americans got a hold of TikTok, it became a capitalist propaganda machine. Honey, long story short.